Hello. Welcome.
Hi, Mommy.
Test.
I die, by the way, Hope, at the end. Me and Cody watch it in bed every Wednesday night. It comes. And then at the end, we wait for it. Kelsey's not doing makeup.
Is your makeup done?
Yeah, I got ready earlier today when I got.
Hey, can you bring me a little pillow for my lower back, please?
Oh,
He has a butler.
World's hottest butler.
are the kids asleep, Brooke? There should be one
Everyone but Luke.
for their iPads.
My little night owl.
Is Noah sleeping through the night?
He did last night, yeah. I had to pump the left in the morning because of it.
That's crazy.
When are you gonna move Claire out of her crib?
When she learns to crawl out of it.
Yeah, it's
She's still not trying.
No, Luke did, but the girls don't till like they're 3.5. Thank you.
The pillow's here. It literally. And then Enrique's taking like 15 minutes.
Cody was right there. They have like 18 stories. He has to go up to his princess.
He has to like wrangle a kid every story.
Knock out a few.
I'm plugging it right here. See if
Yeah, it was like what? No, it was 7:30, and Cody's like, "Oh, I gotta get you set up." And he like runs in the office and gets everything.
Oh my gosh, that's like Matt. He came in here and he's like fixing all the lights, trying to figure out the best lighting for me. Like
that's funny. Yeah, I couldn't do it without him.
He's like, next time you do this at night, tell me and I can bring all my lighting from work. I said, oh yeah. From work.
Wait, is this on? Can we just hit record already?
Guys, hurry up! I have to nurse the baby.
Like I said, this sounds pretty mid.
I'm not gonna say that.
Okay, ready?
Well,
1, 2, 3. This is Kayla, Kelsey,
Brooke, and Hope,
and you're listening to the 4S podcast.
Okay, welcome back to another episode of For Us. We're excited that you guys are here and listening. If you haven't watched an episode yet, definitely go back to episode 1 and hear all about us. But we are 4 sisters. We are in different stages of life, and we're all about 2 years apart, and we're excited to just be here and have honest and authentic conversation and bring you along for the journey and into our world a little bit. So how's everyone doing today?
Super good, super tired because this is night recording. So It's just a Tuesday night, but it'll be fun.
Same. Tired, but excited. Somehow, even when we're tired, but we all get together, there's like an energy that we get, so it's helpful.
Yeah. We like fuel each other. I agree.
Yeah.
We did our homeschool episode last episode, and we've gotten a lot of great feedback on it. And I think people like want to know more about homeschooling, which is so funny.
I know, and we didn't think people would want to know like the logistics of homeschooling, especially like now homeschooling our own kids. But we actually got quite a few questions of moms like wanting to actually know, like, what do you do? And like, so that was sweet.
And random moms or random people.
Yeah.
Not random, but like she means we don't know them personally. So like, yeah, to know we're encouraging or like even like educating people on certain topics is really cool.
How's everyone's weeks been?
It's only been one day, but it's good.
We had our Super Bowl party on Sunday, so that was fun. You guys loved it, didn't you?
Yes, Brooke. Brooke hosted it.
I think I have to say yes.
Yeah, you do.
It would be dangerous if you didn't.
Kelsey showed up with her belly painted as a football, so that was super cute.
I mean, pregnancy, we're going all out. My husband was not a fan, but I did not care.
Why?
He likes me, picture like long skirt, covered up Amish style.
Stop. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so if I'm about to be like, my belly's about to hang out, he has to like really do a mental preparation and like acceptance for that to happen without
that is so funny. I didn't know that about him.
Yeah. So yeah, that was so fun.
Hope, how's your week been?
It's been good, you know.
She has a cold sore.
I do. I have.
Tell us about that.
Oral herpes.
Oh,
it's true.
Not.
What are we not? Well, it's not like herpes from like sexual things. It's, hey, this is a podcast. We're gonna be.
She's being honest, and it's not from that. That's why me and Kelsey are shocked.
It's not from that. It's literally. I got it. I got my first cold sore. I remember when I was 12 years old, and so it was probably from like sipping someone's drink who had it, or.
To this day, I'm like eerie about my kids drinking Hope's drink because you never know when she's like.
Know. Which I saw this I saw this news report on Instagram, and I'll never get close to your kids ever again, even with the cold sore. Sorry, not even with. when I have a cold sore, I'm not going to get close to your kids because this news report was this aunt had a cold sore, kissed her niece like near the eye, not on the eye, just like forehead, like near the eye. The niece got it completely blind in the left eye. So I was like, once I saw that, I was like, I'm not getting near their heads. I'm not kissing them.
Literally stay away.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but it's true. Enrique gets cold sores, and he says that in the past, when he wasn't cautious about it, he had given it to people that he was dating. And so ever since we've been together, he never has gotten near me. We don't kiss, anything like that. Well, he has one, and I never gotten one. So
That's amazing, Kelsey, because I feel like every boyfriend Hope has had, I want to tell him, welcome to the world of cold sores.
No, and every single boyfriend I've had, they were like, I don't care, kiss me anyway.
no,
Because they're like obsessed. And so I literally would kiss them. Not one boyfriend I've ever had has ever gotten a cold sore. And we'll like fully make out.
That's
with it.
amazing.
Wait,
that's
yeah, with
good.
like an active cold sore?
Yes, sometimes it would crack open and that.
That's sick.
You guys, this is the reality of a cold sore. So if you struggle with them, like, you're going to be like, finally, someone's talking about like the realities of it.
No, that's so good.
Except I have to hear it all the time. Every time he has one, he thinks he needs to like be in jail until it's gone. I'm like, it doesn't look that bad, but he says it just hurts so bad.
I will say this one's bad, but nothing will ever top December 2025. I had in the center on the bottom, in the center on the top. I was like swollen on both ends.
I forgot about it.
It was bad.
I forgot.
Moving on. My week was
Moving on.
Okay, well, speaking of the weekend, I did go on a date. So I feel like episode 1, I promised a lot of things, and I really got to hold up my end of the bargain. So
How are we going to do that, Kayla? Like, are you going to, like, do, if you went on a date, you'll update us in the next episode, or are we going to do, like, one episode and you're going to go through, like, a handful of dates?
No, I think I'll just update you as I go on dates.
As you go, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about this weekend.
Okay, so we matched on the app. So that was normal and nice.
Tell us what app.
Yeah, what app do you use?
Hinge is the one that I use. Anyways, so, which if you're not in the dating apps, if you're, married and not in this world, it's a pretty normal app. Like, it's not.
It's one of the best ones.
It's one of the best ones. It's not like super fancy. It's not like trashy. It's like right in the middle. It's great.
Have you heard of Seeking Arrangements?
Yeah.
What?
Hope said, yeah.
Yeah.
Seeking Arrangements? Okay.
Never heard of it.
It's
One
like,
of my friends. Not me.
Hope
Is it
that's
bad?
Yeah,
I know.
those are like the sugar daddy ones.
Yeah. No, we'll keep that a secret.
Where was that when I was dating?
Oh.
Anyways.
I'm just kidding. I have my
Hinge.
own sugar daddy.
Okay.
Oh.
So we matched. He seemed very nice. He was very like just active in our conversation, and it was just normal. It's hard to like find normal people. So anyways, he ended up asking me to go to coffee on a Saturday morning. So we just went, we met. It was a place where we could like walk around too, so it wasn't gonna be awkward. So I like walked up to the coffee shop, and his like back was to me, so I like walked up and I was like, hey, let's just name him Tom. So I was like, hey, Tom. And he like looked back at me and he was like, oh, hey, Kayla, you're so beautiful in person. And I was like, oh,
He said, no. Correction. He said, you're so much more beautiful in person.
okay.
So
Yeah.
he already said she was beautiful.
Anyways, so sweet. Then we got coffee, walked around for about an hour. We're going in circles. And so at some point I'm like, okay, are we good? And he was like, yeah, So he like walked me to my car. Part of the conversation though, which animals came up, like he has a pet, and he was like, oh, do you have a pet? And I was like, I do. It's kind of a funny one. Do you want to guess? And he was like, yeah. He goes, is it a fish? I said, no. He said, is it a snake? I said, no, it's not a snake. Because I had first said it's not a cat or a dog. And so then he said snake, and I said, no. And he goes, I don't know. Is it like a hamster? I said, no, not a hamster, but kind of close. And he goes, yeah, you look like a hamster girl. And I said,
Oh, wow.
what?
You used to be, remember? You had quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when I was little.
Not wrong.
What does that mean?
You had like
You had a hamster. You had a full hamster wheel and like.
He said,
You killed all of them, but you had them.
Okay. He said, you look like a hamster girl. Anyways,
Aw.
He meant like a hamster owner.
so
Like,
we're again, what is that supposed to look like? Anyways,
Someone
so
who
we're-
was homeschooled.
Someone that
We're-
looks like you.
So we're laughing and whatever, and I'm like, what does that mean? He goes, you just look like someone who would take care of a hamster. And I was like, oh my God. But I'm laughing, I don't want it to be awkward. And then I told him it's a bunny, which basically is the same thing. So, nothing against him. But
You don't look like a hamster girl, Kayla.
you guys all just said I did. So,
But you don't.
okay.
we take it back.
Okay.
I don't.
Anyways, so he walked me to my car afterwards and we said goodbye, and he super sweet and everything. We hugged at the end, and I was awkward because he was like almost my same height, and I hugged over, like my arm went over him and he was like under, and so it was awkward. I don't know, it wasn't great. Anyways, super
When
nice
in
guy.
doubt, always bend the knees and get shorter.
I know I should have, but I didn't know what to do in that moment. So
Why are you
What do you do?
shocked,
Like
bro?
bend down and say, "Come here, daddy"? The heck?
So super nice guy, but in the end, I just told him like I didn't think there was a romantic connection, because I mean he was
He
nice,
was
but
a
it
good
wasn't.
no go.
Well, Sir Tom, if you watch this, we wish you the best, and I hope you find the woman of your dreams.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good luck for Tom. He was nice.
On to the next.
On to the next. So that was my weekend. This episode, we are going to do a fun Q&A session. We feel like we've talked a good amount of kind of who we are and introduced ourselves. And so we put out on the Instagram on our page, which if you don't follow us, go follow us for sure. But we did a poll of like, or a question box or whatever. What do you want to know? And so we have some questions. We're going to go through those. And hopefully this is just some good, fun conversation and banter. So let's get into it. We did get quite a few questions about like dating, husbands, boyfriends, dating non-negotiables, that type of thing. And we are going to do a whole episode on dating and marriage. But one of the questions was, how did you guys meet your husbands and boyfriend? So you three, go ahead and answer.
I was first.
Okay. No one's arguing.
What?
No one's
Go
arguing.
ahead.
It's because I hear something. Okay.
It's a child.
At work, when I was 19, I got a job at Buffalo Wild Wings as a host, and he was a server, and he was just flirty and funny, and that's literally it. The story's like not that exciting, because then from there, everything just unraveled. I just met him at a restaurant. So kind of like a really old school at this point way to meet somebody, but like it's the easiest and the best. And I'm just grateful that I got to meet him like that and not how people have to meet people nowadays, because it sounds hard.
And then, fun fact, they had Buffalo Wild Wings cater their wedding.
So, fun fact, we didn't have a wedding, and we didn't have Wild Wings cater
I
our
was
wedding.
genuinely like, did I miss it? That was.
No.
I didn't even go to the
wedding.
wedding she had, so that's a lie.
Yeah, you did.
No,
I
she
was
had work.
working.
Awesome. Yeah, so we met at a restaurant, and then things happened quickly, and we were super young. So we did we not rushed into marriage counseling, but we wanted to like, if we were gonna do this, we wanted to make sure it was right. So we signed up for marriage counseling with our church, and once we finished that, it was just, let's get married now, because time and money. And so that only like allowed for us to do something super small with the pastor that counseled us. He's the one that married us on a Monday at noon.
Yeah,
And
it was like a Monday. That's why I was not
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Whoever came, and it was like just our immediate family. And then we went out to lunch after for our reception, which was just at, I don't even know, Red Robin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Robin, bottomless.
I know,
prize.
not
It should have been a Buffalo.
But that what we've tried to plan since then, like to do a whole reception party, vow renewal or whatever. We wanted it for a 5-year, and then that didn't work out, and then we want it for a 10-year, and that just passed. So maybe like 15.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Do the 10-year, but we just do it a little bit later. Like even if it's at like year 11 or 12, we can still celebrate.
Oh
the
yeah,
10
you're
year.
just there. I think
Yeah.
you should do it.
We'll see, but we definitely want to do that. That's it. Next.
Okay. I met my husband at church, where I was going at the time. I had been out of a relationship, and then it was like 8 months, and then I met him. I really thought in those 8 months I was never going to get married and never meet another guy. But I met him, and yeah, like Kelsey said, things just went from there. But yeah, met him at church. He was visiting with his mom. I introduced myself.
Yeah, that's a good
I
one.
asked
You
for his
made
note.
Yeah, you made the first move.
Yeah. I said, "Hi, I'm Brooke." He said, "Hi." And the rest is history. I will say he did ask for my number because he wanted to show me a funny picture and he wanted to be able to text it to me. So he did ask for my number.
Classic.
Yeah, anyway. Simple at
how old were
church,
you
just
guys?
how I planned. I was 21, he was 23. Or 22. So we've known each other almost 10 years now. 2015, so 10, 11 years.
So cute. Okay, Hope.
Me, I get so nervous talking about it. We met on Hinge, the dating app. At the time, I was kind of on a few just to see what the vibe was with all of them, and Hinge was like the most normal. Anyway, you do have to weed out some of the creeps. And yeah, we met, and I was actually unemployed at the time. I'll just say this little story because it's really funny. I was unemployed, so I had a lot of time to just swipe and chat and all the things. And I was on my way to my parents' house, and I saw that he liked me in the car. Like, I had Hinge open while driving. Shouldn't, but I was bored. And I literally, like, as I was looking through his profile while driving, a cop pulled me over because he saw I was on my phone. So then I, like, handle that situation. Then I get to the house and, like, oh, finally, I can sit down and, like, chat with him. So then we just start chatting. And, like, within, like, 2 hours, he's like, I would love to take you out for coffee or whatever. He's like, what days are you free? And I was unemployed. But I was like, I can't let him know that because this was, like, very soon after that. And so I was like, oh, that sounds so nice. Let me check my schedule and, like, see when I'm free, even though I was free 24/7. And then I texted him back, and we went on, like, a breakfast date in Newport Beach. And first time I've ever done, like, a first date breakfast, whatever. And yeah, it lasted like 4 hours. We like walked pretty much the whole. Another story, that first date, I was rushing to get ready, and I was like, I can't find socks for these shoes. And I was like, oh, whatever, it's just a breakfast date, probably won't go anywhere. Like, I'll just wear the shoes without socks. It goes so well, we end up walking like all of Newport. I have the worst blisters I've ever gotten. Didn't tell him that. I took my shoes off, and he was like, why are you taking your shoes off? I was like, just, I'm grounding. It's like this thing I like to do. But really, I was in utter pain, like, from these blisters. And he was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I've never heard of grounding. So then we just, like, say this whole thing. And then, yeah, all of these, like, lies I told him, like, 3 days after I met him. And he thought it was
all these lies.
all these lies the relationship started out with. No.
Oh
and
my,
then, yeah,
I never heard that story.
The rest is history, and it's been great.
That's so cute.
Okay, number 2. This is a good one. Do you guys tell each other everything? And how do you judge if you should or shouldn't share something with a particular sister? I'll go first because I am family headquarters. So I read this question and I immediately knew you guys were all going to be haters on me. Like, Brooke tells everyone anything, no matter what. And that's pretty much true, but I have one exception. If the person tells me, don't tell mom, or don't, it's usually my mom, or anybody, I won't. I really won't. Like, okay. And that took some years. Like, I used to be like, okay, and then I would tell my mom anyway. But no, now recently in my, 30s, I'm a good girl. And if you tell me, I will be like, okay, whatever. I think I'm just too busy to, like, care that much anymore. But anyway.
Okay. So
But if you don't tell me that, who's to say where it's going to end up? Maybe NBC4 News.
I will say that we're pretty notorious for that. Because, like, sometimes Hope will tell me things, and I'm like, I don't think it's a big deal. And then I will tell either Brooke or Kelsey or my mom. And then Hope finds out that I told them. And she gets so mad at me. And she's like, why did you say that? I was like, I didn't even think it was a big deal. It's like a small, and sometimes it's bigger things. But normally it's like, I don't think it's a big deal. But she does think it's a big deal. And it's like a whole thing. It has happened so many times with me and Hope. And I feel really horrible. So
Like, the movie, the Big Fat Greek Wedding, when the girl is like, she told her mom, who told my mom, who told her. We always joke like that because it's always like between us 4 and my mom and like the 5 women, it's just like that.
I would say that I don't share everything, and for the reasons that you guys are mentioning, and some of the reasons that usually it's about my personal life, which is attached to my husband, and he's a little bit more private than I am. Otherwise, I'm an open book and don't really care that much, but out of respect for him, if there's something and he's not feeling the same way, then I'll hold it back, because we have to be realistic with the fact that if I am going to tell one person, it might go around to everybody else, which whether I care about that or not, he might. And when things go through a train of people, they can change and get twisted. And so just keeping that all in mind, I don't share everything, but that's just like to keep the most healthy dynamic between everybody that I'm trying to make happy.
Yeah, no. That's good. I could learn from you.
Sounds like you're on the right.
I'm on the right track.
I also think like when I'm thinking about if I'm going to tell one of you or not, sometimes I'll tell one of you something and not the rest of you, depending on like how your week is or what you're going through, or
yeah, that's true.
If you're like if like Brooke is really stressed with something, I'm not gonna come to her with like my problems. I'm gonna go to Hope and I'm gonna tell Hope what's going on and like talk to Hope about it, because I know Brooke doesn't have capacity. It doesn't mean I won't tell Brooke, but it's just like timing, I think, matters too.
Yeah, and like I helped Kayla out. Like she told me all about her date after she had her date, and I texted my mom right away and gave her every detail about Kayla's date, and I said, I know Kayla will probably tell you too in due time, but I'm quicker. And my mom just laughed.
I literally got to my parents' house on Friday night and I walked in and Brooke was like, I already told mom about the date. And then Hope said, and I already told her about your follow-up communication with him the next day.
Yeah.
So we're up to speed now. And I was like, okay, thank you,
So
everyone.
good. You're welcome. You're welcome.
So anyways.
I used to share a lot, and then I just got like just things that I would like lack in saying, you know, don't share this, or even if some of the times I would say like, do not share this, and it was shared. It's really just like made me think and realize of like what I want to share and what I really want to keep private and stuff like that. So it's good. I'm glad we have open communication, but I think as we get older, we'll just continuously grow and like respect for one another, and maybe empathy on like what should be shared, what should be like just really between us. Because at this point, like we are like adults, like half of us are mothers. Like at this point, it should be like confidential. A lot should be confidential and just between whoever's being spoken to. So yeah, I just hope that we continue to grow.
I feel like Kelsey said like, if she's going to share something, she has to kind of like sign off on knowing this could be passed around. That's how I see it, because you can't control anyone. And so like if something private happens between me and Cody and I'm going to tell my mom, I know that my mom could tell Hope or Kayla when they're like alone, and I like sign up for that. I'm like, will I be okay if this gets repeated? And if I am, I tell my mom. If not, I keep it to ourselves.
Yeah, that was a hard thing for me to like accept, but I feel like I've been doing a lot better with that in like probably the last like year and a half or 2 years.
I was just saying it takes practice sometimes, because we all had like certain habits when we were younger, and then we get older and things change and all that kind of stuff. So it's just practicing evolving with what's the healthiest way to go about sharing when you have other people involved and you want to keep your personal peace.
Well, and we've all like messed up. Like we've all hurt each other in this sense. Like we've told each other something saying, you know, don't say it to someone else, and we've shared it. Like we've all done that to each other. And so I think that's the like just a big part of us too. And like our message is an encouragement is like fight for relationships, forgive, move forward, try to be better. And that's what we've done. And so it's not
I think we also just have a hard time holding things to ourselves, or like keeping things to ourselves. I think people that like aren't very open, they have no issue. Like they don't need to talk about everything to everyone. And we just like to, you know, talk to each other about all the tea. We're
just used to that. We're just used to being like all together. Like maybe that's the homeschooling aspect of our upbringing, but all together, everybody knows everything. Everything's happening in front of each other. Nothing was ever private, which is good to an extent. Yeah, life starts to change and you have relationships, and then you got to kind of alter.
Yeah.
This was a funny question. I included it because it's funny. It's not actually funny. What are you all doing to work out right now? I would love for us to tell the people what we're doing.
I'll go first. I'm waking up in the morning.
She's carrying a baby.
Just getting out of my... So that's that for now. That's all we're getting.
I'm doing nothing, but I just bought a program, and I will share it with you guys if I get good results. I'm going to start it whenever I feel like starting it. But it's geared towards healing my diastasis recti and like a postpartum type 12-week program. So I'm going to start it. And if I have good results and a good experience, I will share. But I'm very excited. But as for right now, nothing.
I'm walking every day. I'm doing Pilates probably 4 or 5 times a week. And depending on my cycle, I'm doing like strength and like resistance training and like some like light weights like 2 times a week.
A lot.
Yeah, it's so good. You inspire me.
That's a lot.
Kayla, what are you doing besides needles?
I'm not working out right now because I'm on this weight loss journey thing. So my calorie intake is so low. So I don't really have the calorie energy to work out for right now. But I am walking. I do try to walk at least like an hour a day. That's
a lot, girl.
That's probably a lie.
That's still a really healthy workout, I've heard people say. Just walking at least once a day.
Walk, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, Kayla, we're going to use that to snowball into the next question we got, which was for you. How is the GLP-1 going for you?
Okay, yeah, it's going so good. Hope is actually doing it with me, so she can speak to how she's feeling about it. But it's going good. I am on tirzepatide 2.5 milligrams. I've been on it for about a month, and I've lost a total of, on a good day, 10 pounds. So I'm very excited. It's going well. Thank you. Thank you. I've had minimal side effects. I had mentioned in a previous podcast, like I've done these before. I've done Ozempic. I've done a semaglutide compound. There's so many different variations. This one is tirzepatide, but it is a compound because the girls joke that I make it myself. I kind of do. You just reconstitute it. So you get the peptide in a powder form and then you have to reconstitute it, like add this special water into it so it's the right mixture. So it's technically a compound. A compound just means it's not like 100% perfect made in a pharmacy or like in a lab. So that's all that means. But anyways, it's working good, and Hope has joined the train. Hope's on week 2. Hope, how are you feeling this week?
I feel much better than week 1. My body reacts to anything good, anything bad really fast. I count that as a blessing for sure. But yeah, week 2 is better symptom-wise, but I'm doing it, I mean, weight loss is good, but I'm doing it majority for my PCOS and all of those symptoms because there's so much research done in the benefits of a GLP-1 and PCOS and the relations and insulin resistance and androgens and hormones and all the things. So I have tried almost everything in the book to manage my symptoms or bring a lot of them down or just find a change in some way, somehow. And just nothing has worked. And so I was like, you know what? This might be the last straw. Let's just see if it works. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And Hope told me it was like really good for inflammation, I think you said.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think we all deal with inflammation, but Hope said like she had certain things that like she noticed a change within days.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone wants more information on it or just wants to ask questions about the journey, I'm sure we'll talk about it more in another episode, but feel free to DM on Instagram, and I will for sure just answer any questions, and I can even send links of like what I'm using and stuff. But it's really
and then we'll be posting Kayla and Hope's before and after photos.
We will not
on our
I didn't
Instagram.
even take before, so I can't.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Oh, it's so good. Okay, what is another question that we got?
Do you co-sleep with your kids? For me and Kelsey, why or why not? You want to go first, Kels?
It depends on the kid, and I'm not opposed to it as much as Brooke's gonna go next. And I feel like our journeys with co-sleeping have been very. I would say with my first, like co-slept for maybe a couple years, and then with my second one, they were both kind of in the bed for a while, and then with my third one, we did crib and he was fine once he crawled out of the crib. Now he's coming into our bed and trying to co-sleep with us. And I move him to the floor every night so I can sleep because my sleep hasn't been bad since I had him. So it's just been like what works when it works. I'm not like against anything. So I don't like set any like rules or boundaries when it comes to that. Me and my husband would love that alone time, but both of us are really emotional and weak when it comes to our kids and the sleeping part. And we've done it in the past, so it's not like, oh my gosh, if we did it now. And yeah, it kind of feels good too, co-sleeping with them. Like animals do that. They sleep with their parents for a long time. I don't know. The families want to be like
Animalish.
yeah, like touching. There's something about like the closeness and the touching safety they
Yeah,
feel.
no, it's like instinctual.
Yeah, the instinctual part makes us not so against it. But
Yeah.
again, I love that alone time. But we will have that time eventually in life, and we're gonna think back on this and miss it. So yeah, we really don't have like strict rules and regulations when it comes to that kind of thing. But if I need my sleep, we'll make adjustments to make that work.
Yeah, Kelsey's different. She has a heart. I, on the other hand, we have the same routine we've had baby 1 through 4. It goes like this. They're born, they sleep in between Cody and I in a little snuggle me or dock-a-tot, so they have like a little border. So we don't roll on to them, but they sleep between us, and it's just easier to like side lie and nurse them all night, and it's the way all of us get the best sleep. So they sleep there until around 6 months when they start like being able to move, get out of the swaddle, roll out of their little border. And that is when we start to do a gentle form of sleep training. We do Taking Care of Babies program, but we modify it a bit. I still nurse them throughout the night as long as they want to do that. But as far as then they go in their bed around 7 months, and we start kind of just training them that it's bedtime. This is where you sleep. You're okay, whatever. But I do nurse them. If they wake up, I'll nurse them, but they do go back to their bed. So that's always around like, yeah, again, that 7 to 9 months. And then from then on, they're in their crib. And then after they get kind of crib trained, they go to their own room or share a room with a sibling. So we kind of do a mix. We do co-sleep in the beginning, but then we don't co-sleep past a certain point. Because at that point also, like Cody and I need our bed, we need our private time and like space, because as you know, our night second dinners are very important, our shows are very important, and I like can't be ordering my DoorDash with having like a toddler sleeping in my bed. Like I need to eat my McFlurry in peace, and so we really need our space. It's good for our marriage. And I always say that to my friends, like, if you guys co-sleep till the baby's 3 and you guys are good and thriving, good for you. Like, that's great. Us, no. Like, no. I need them out after a certain point, and then so we can get on, like, with the next baby, you know? Like, we got to make some more, so out.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first off,
No.
Brooke is like a walking info commercial.
Yeah, what is she about to sell at the end of every speech? She has some product she can be selling. I feel like there's right or wrong. It's what works for the families, and everybody has different like feelings.
Exactly.
And it's not like one's better than the other. It's just what works for you.
Exactly. I will say what works for your family, but I think priority should be what works for your marriage.
Yeah.
The kid's gonna be fine, but does your marriage need the baby outside of the room, like hard stop, or is it okay? Do you guys still thrive with a baby in between you? But I think that's what needs to be priority.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Kelsey, I know your 10-year-old obviously doesn't sleep with you. So like, do you just let them naturally decide when they're not gonna like come to the bed anymore, or how does that work?
no. Even though she's 10, she's still asks.
Oh, that's so cute.
So cute.
Yeah, they still ask. No, then they ask maybe for special occasions like Christmas or their birthday as one of their gifts if they can.
I can't.
And it again, when it comes to that, like they're bigger and how's my sleep in prior? Do I have a newborn? What do I need? So like I'm not dying the next day. I'll make my decision based on that. But it has not ended from my 10-year-old all the way down to my 2-year-old that they all still want to be in the middle of us through the night.
Cody's bringing the baby. I have to nurse him, so you can edit out that middle. But he was screaming.
Hi, honey.
Thanks.
Okay, so before we go into rapid fire, one more question that I love that we got. One second. While the baby latches. Okay, so one more question, because I did love this question that we got. What is, and no judgment if you can't answer, but what's your favorite scripture in the Bible or Bible passage that maybe you're reading right now?
I'm just gonna say the whole book of Job right now is like,
Dang, girl.
yeah. So let that speak for itself. But yeah.
For those that don't
I
know,
love that.
Job is a book of like a lot of suffering. Like Job is a man that lost a lot of things in his life, but stuck close to God the whole time. So that's what she's reading about. So
I'm going to say my verse right now, not my verse, a verse me and my husband are clinging on to. It's in Exodus. I forgot the reference, the numbers, but it's in Exodus. We just read it in the 1 year or the Bible recap, but it says, I, the Lord, will fight for you. You just need to be silent. And so with our whole, like, the things we've been going through this past year with our house situation, it's very stressful and we feel like we need to do and like fix it or be on top of it. And we feel like the Lord has just continued to say, and he gave us this verse, just like, no, I'll do it. Just be quiet. And it's proven true, because at the end of the day, we don't do anything to help our situation and it resolves and everything's okay. And so, yeah, that's been a good one for us right now.
so good.
Okay, for me, I don't have the references either. I would just say, like, a constant for us, since we've had such a roller coaster of a relationship from the beginning, has always just been, like, any verse that references, like, trusting him, his timing, not your own. And I was pretty OCD for a long time, too, trying to plan and have things my way, which quickly I learned that that's not going to be the case for my life. And any verse like that, like, helped me develop into the person to where I can accept a life of, like, it's not my own, it's not my plan, don't even try, God's plan is always better. So any verse when it comes out, and there's a lot. Yeah, just trusting in God verses.
Yeah, that theme of trust for sure.
Yeah.
That's mine's kind of this, as I've walked into this new year, it's my kind of like verse for the year, or like word for the year is it's Hebrew, it's Shema. And it comes from Deuteronomy, which is an Old Testament book, but it means to listen and obey. So not to just hear what the Lord's telling you or calling you to, but to hear it and obey and like be and make an action. And so that's just kind of been the focus, and I've been just kind of like thinking and gleaning on that of like, when the Lord tells you something, it's not just for you to listen, it's for you to listen and obey. Whether that be trust, like trust me, right? It's Shema. It's listen and obey. And so just doing a deep dive into that word and how it's used in the Hebrew and all of that. So.
Reminds me a lot of like, don't just be a hearer of the word, be a doer of the word.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That.
No,
So,
Wow, you guys.
that's good, because a lot of times we're just like, okay, what do you want? And like we just will like take step in versus like taking action because it's like easier. So that's good.
Yeah.
Like something that comes to mind is the verse like, be still and know that I am God. And if you say that about a situation that's like high anxiety or you're worrying all the time, and you read that and you're like, oh, that's so nice, like thanks God, but then you go about your day and you're worrying, am I going to get this, am I going to be provided for, all this stuff, that's not obeying the word that you just read.
Yeah, that's
be
just
still
like
and
listening. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
listening and hearing it, but not obeying it. Totally. Okay, we're going to go to rapid fire. So you don't have to really explain any of the answers. You just shout them out. Okay, this one came from one of our biggest fans. Do you guys have any hidden talents?
No.
Massage. I can like connect with the body and give like a really rockin' massage. And so random.
Yeah. Which sister would last the longest on Survivor?
Kelsey.
You guys know.
Yeah, Kelsey's
Kayla or
pretty
Kelsey?
I would say, okay, wait, I would say Kelsey for like the physical side, Brooke for the logistical side, and then...
No. Yeah, my brain is great, but I would never survive.
Okay, fine. Kayla for the logistical side, Kelsey for the physical side.
No, me.
Kelsey is determined.
Kelsey is like stubborn
Yeah.
and determined. Kayla is very strong and smart.
But me for the fact that I will do anything in my power to make sure I accomplish and win whatever I'm about to do. And the guys, I don't
Yeah.
really care that much about anything.
No, I would never do that. Ever.
Anything?
Well, you know what I mean. Like anything. Like,
Yeah, no, I do get competitive.
yeah, but not
Yeah.
Who got in the most trouble growing up?
Kelsey.
as how, that's the.
But I will say she's the one who got caught the most. Like, as I've thought about
I
our,
wonder
like
why.
what we did in kind of our early teens.
I wonder why. Do we want to look at the
No.
person on the camera who's the reason I got caught?
Oh my gosh, literally still holding that 15 years later.
No, because early.
Yeah, Kayla, you were the reason?
No, bro.
No, not me. You.
Yeah,
The deflection.
I'm saying it because it references back to something she said about herself in the beginning, which is so funny. She's like, Remember, if you tell me, like I tell everyone I have a history, I'm trying to get better at that. But that started like when we were so young.
Mm-hmm.
No, but you
don't get the job of family headquarters without a rockin' resume.
You slipped up a lot. Like, I would do things, but I would lock it in. Like, nobody was, not even Brooke was going to find out.
I know. It's because okay, for one,
it's just because she did it first.
I did.
She didn't know how to.
I did share too much. That was one of my problems. And then I didn't think to hide all of my devices with my information on it. That was my second problem, because if I ever left one hanging around, she was the first to go look at what has this girl done all day. I'll find it out on her phone and I'll report to mom immediately.
I can't say that's not true.
It was like her hobby. It was like her hobby, aside from doing school every day. Where's Kelsey's phone? What will I find?
She loved detective work. I remember at Christmas she used to get like detective kits.
Yeah.
No, everything is a mystery. I will find out.
That is true. I'm not saying that I didn't like do stuff to make that happen either. I definitely asked for it as much as I got in trouble.
Okay. This question was directed to me. How much money does it cost to get one of Kayla's voice memos? I talked about in episode 1 that part of my episode 2 daily routine is sending voice memos to people. If you want one, DM me. I will send you one. Honestly, after that episode, I got so many requests, and now the list is long. I voice memo a lot of people now every single morning. So
you lucky girl.
What is your go-to makeup product right now, or store that you shop at?
Brown mascara for those light days that you just want you want to wake up a little bit, but you really don't.
Really?
Yeah. I'm obsessed.
Interesting. For me right now, my makeup routine, I like the Dibs stick where it's bronzer on one and blush on the other. I originally got on that when it was like popular, and then I stopped using it for a while, and I just got back on it, and I just love the glowiness that it gives your face. So definitely recommend the Dibs stick.
Yeah, she bought that for me, and I love that. I want to say, you might say what I'm going to say. I want to put a shout out for Black Mascara Telescopic. It's what all of us use. Hope's on a break right now using her brown, but we've all used it for 10.
Right now.
Okay, good. Like 10 plus years. L'Oreal's Telescopic is the best mascara, and it tops all like Sephora, Ulta, those brands.
Yeah.
You can get it at Target, and the best.
It's so good. Get it for like a wedding or a night out, like you really want to pop, especially get the Jet Black.
Carbon Black.
Carbon, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Automatic on the Carbon Black L'Oreal Telescope mascara. Over a decade now, but my thing right now is concealer, because I have like so much hyperpigmentation on my face from hormones that is like dark brown, and without the concealer I don't recognize myself in the mirror. So that is our favorite right now.
Which brand?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I use the best brand. It's kind of drying, but it's Tarte, and I like Tarte. It does the job, but it isn't like
Same.
Okay, I use
It's
Tarte
not
concealer.
Shape Tape.
not this one though.
No, it's
No.
this one. It's more of like a clay one. You do like one dab. It's your blemish, your pigmentation. It's gone. It's called Tarte Color Corrector, and it comes in like a little like circle. And then do a sponge and wet the sponge, and then dip it in like the clayness. It gives you the most dewy, like gorgeous, like yeah.
I was just gonna say, for concealer, I've been using the Hourglass, and I've been liking it. So I don't know.
Oh, I haven't heard of that. Okay, another one. Kelsey and Kayla, do you have any tattoos?
You're asking us because we're the ones who have the tattoos.
Tell us what tattoos you have.
I have one tattoo here on my wrist. I got it only a couple years ago. I had been thinking about it since I was 18 years old. And then finally when I want to say like 29, I got it. And it says "Be still" from a Bible verse, but I love it. Kelsey, tell us about yours.
When I was 18, I had the rebel itch to get a tattoo as soon as they strike 12, and I ran to get the first thing on my mind, which was an infinity symbol on my ring finger. So I would symbolize what I believe marriage for infinity, marriage forever. And Kayla convinced me to get the cursive word love within the infinity situation.
I did not convince
And
you. No.
we went to a little down place in Fullerton, and I just had a guy I knew nothing about do it, and it was bigger than it was supposed to be, and it was all crooked and janky, and I have hated it ever since. And you can see it. And after that, I had 2 sessions of getting my skin color ink on top of it to get it to at least look more like a scar than black, because removal wasn't popular at the time. And both of those sessions failed and were super painful. So then I'm like, forget it. And then I have a little cross like this big.
So if anyone has connects at the removery,
Yeah, I'll take it. But the second,
let us know. My sisters are both in need.
the second one is just a tiny little cross on the back of my neck, and I love that. I never see it because it's on my back, but I love that.
Kayla, don't hide the butterfly from everyone.
I want
Where is
one
that big
so-
butterfly?
I want one so bad. I just want a tiny little like wave symbol,
They are all crazy.
and then
What
I don't know, on my ribs or something.
I would love for us all to get a little brown heart, like tiny, that looks like a freckle or a mole, like somewhere, like on our wrist or something, that we all get, and it's so cute. But Brooke refuses. Hope and Kelsey are down. Brooke refuses. And for the record, I do not have a butterfly tattoo. Okay.
Okay, last rapid fire. Any non-negotiables in dating?
Financially stable for sure, and faith alignment. Those are like 2 of my main ones.
Yeah, mine had to be wanting a wife that's a stay-at-home mom. But that wasn't number 1. Number 1 was his faith in God being stronger than mine.
For me, I would say number 1 is having a genuine relationship with Jesus, not just like, I love God and I go to church, but like an actual relationship. And 2 would be that they have a growth mentality, because people always change, they ebb and flow. We're never the same, and we constantly grow. And to have a growth mentality, which is open to growing and changing and molding and shifting and all those things, like, is like all I can ask for.
Mine was definitely the number 1 thing was relationship with God. Only because I know you can go through anything and get through anything if you have that. And if you don't, like, there's no guarantee. And then everything that we've gone through, that's literally the only reason we are here today. So I can, like, I knew that for a fact beforehand. I can attest to it after the fact. But the non-negotiable was that relationship with God. So I could guarantee we would get through anything and stay together forever. Just like I wanted to with my infinity ring finger tattoo.
The tattoo said it all.
But yeah, when that's the foundation, really, girls, like when that's the foundation, I feel like everything else
Everything
will be
flow
okay.
from that.
Yeah.
Totally. And I just want to say, like, people who aren't like religious or don't have a faith like anchor in their life, like, I think faith alignment is what's needed as well. Like, as long as you're both on the same page, that is really needed, whether you believe in God or you don't. Like, being on the same page in the realm of faith and spirituality is very important, because it shapes how you think about things and how you see the world. So, anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, Kelsey and Brooke, this one's for you guys. Somebody asked, what's your preferred age gap between kids? I guess Hope and I could answer too, but from a mom's perspective and how you guys have done it, what's the preference?
I liked having mine every 2 years. It's like they would turn 1 and then we'd try to get pregnant again. And so I like that. But if we're going to have more kids, I do want to have a little bit of a longer gap right now. But no more than like 2 or 3 years. But yeah, I do like them close versus far apart, because we're just getting all the hard years over with, and they have little best friends. So
cute. Kels?
Yeah, and I would say for Brooke, like, you don't really know anything else since you've only done it one way so far, right?
yeah.
Like, you don't know if you would, like...
Okay, Kels, can you not be going through mail?
I was like, is she paying bills?
No, okay.
A single mom who works for 2 jobs.
After my first kid, I was working still, and I had a job that involved me talking with so many different women every single day. So I started taking a poll on all the different, all the feedback I got, like, between age gaps and what people liked, didn't like, pros and cons. And I got most commonly people saying 3-year gap was their favorite. And I came from 2-year gap with me and my sisters, and I think that was great, but I wasn't our mom. So I don't know how that worked as the mom. And so I took it from, like, I took advice from people that were going through it. And I did 3-year gap with my first 2 because of that, and I loved it. And then we had a little break in between the second and the third because of medical things. And I would have probably wanted them all 3 years because I like that 3 years. But because of that, it forced a much larger gap, which was like 4.5 years. And then now this baby to the third one is going to be another 3 years. All I can do is try and think of the pros and cons I have with having a set of two that are closer and then a set of two that are younger, because it's not like I can change anything. We had a lot of babies in between all those babies. So literally our outcome of age gaps could have been so different if a lot of those other babies made it and things like that. So we had a plan. The plan unraveled itself in its own way, literally zero control. And yeah, there's a lot of good things about how our kids are set up. And then maybe I'm missing out on other stuff, but we enjoy it and focus on the good stuff, because what else are you going to do?
Okay. Where do you guys get your humor from?
Aaron.
I know, Dad.
Grandma Anna. Rest in peace.
Oh,
Yeah, Grandma Anna was funny.
Really, it's grandma. Yeah.
My dad's parents were really funny. Like, from a young age, they were like, when they would come over to babysit us or entertain us, they were like doing skits. Like, they'd put on whole shows for us. And so definitely from that. I also
Our
think
Hispanic side.
the Hispanic side. I also think it's funny how, like, we're each really funny, but when we're together,
Oh, yeah.
like, who do you think is the funniest when it's just us four?
Bruh.
Like, together?
Bruh.
I feel like Kelsey and Hope can get us going.
I was gonna say,
See, we're
Brooke.
not gonna like think ourselves are the funniest. See, I think they're funny
Yeah.
and they think I'm funny.
Well,
But then
kn-
also Kayla, like with her Megan mentality, is really funny. So I don't know.
No, I feel, well, yeah, I guess it's like depends on the day, because I don't think when
Yeah.
we're together, I don't think I'm funny.
No, you're not.
Okay.
I think we're all a different kind of funny.
Because we overpower Kayla when we're all together.
But then when we're each in our individual friend groups, we
Yeah.
are typically like the class clown or like the funny one in our friend groups.
Yeah. But I think when we're together, I probably crown Kelsey.
No.
I would,
Bruh.
I don't know, because sometimes Hope has her days where she is hilarious.
No, I say bruh.
They're all like, it's just, yeah, it depends. It depends on the situation.
Kayla and Brooke find me funnier than Kelsey does, I think, like, on a grand scheme.
Yeah, Hope has me rolling lately. It's really, yeah, it's funny. Hope
A
is
lot of
funny.
people funny. And I don't mean to be mean, but Brooke knows that, like, the most, because she would always, like, try really hard to, like, make me laugh when we were younger, because I was, like, the hardest to, like, not impress, but the hardest to, like, make laugh or think that someone was funny. I don't know why.
That's true.
I will say I can make, like, random people laugh. Like, I can be funny in, like a corporate crowd or, like that type of situation.
Corporate crowd.
Yeah.
So good.
I don't know. That could
Okay,
be-
let's end with, what is your wildest childhood memory?
When I saw this question, I instantly went to like a traumatic moment, and I instantly went to being, I want to say I was 13 years old, and I was in a park. We were all at a park at like a family picnic gathering, like multiple families, and
Is this the worms?
Kelsey thought it would be funny to collect like garden earthworms and put them down my pants. And so I was
A handful of them.
a handful. So I was sitting in like crisscross applesauce talking with a friend, and Kelsey comes over like kind of giggling, and she's behind me, and she takes a full handful of worms and sticks it down my pants, like in my underwear. And I remember freaking out, but being old enough to like think don't cause a scene, but also wanting to cry. And I just got this visual that they were going to go into my butthole and I was going to like die. And oh, it was so traumatizing. And Brooke and Kelsey were just laughing. And I like went to the bathroom and like got the worms out. Oh, it's like to this day, that's literally the memory that came to mind when I saw this question.
That's so funny because
I don't even remember that, like, in actual memory.
I remember that so clear, but I also remember thinking that wasn't a big deal at all. And that's how, like, La La Land I was in all the time. I'm sorry.
Thank you
Sad.
for your apology.
She's been waiting 83 years. For me, I would say at my grandma's house. It was like Thanksgiving, and Kelsey and Brooke were the leaders of this group, and then a few other cousins convinced me and my cousin to get on the roof and jump off into the blanket that they were holding above the grass. And they promised till they were blue in the face that they would not let go, and it would be funny and it would be fun. And so I jumped, and they all let go, and I sprained my ankle. So,
She did. We let go.
yeah, they definitely.
It wasn't
let go.
intentional. We
And
tried
I
our
literally,
best.
I was like, "Are you guys sure?" And I'm like looking down, and as I'm jumping, I see all of them laugh and like remove their hands, and it was just this moment of like, it changed my DNA.
It changed me.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was
That
That-
was bad. For the record, the roof wasn't that high. It was like a 5-foot
No.
roof. Still
What makes
high.
it
I mean, you
wild
got
is
up on
I-
it.
I like sprained my ankle, like legitimately.
I wouldn't say I was technically a child during these memories, but still under 18. I had so many occasions of like fully leaving our house, sneaking out, and spending the entire night out somewhere that wasn't home, and then going back home and acting like that never happened. And like to the point where like I was just hanging out with friends through the night, and all the way till my husband was one of my members of my sneaking out plots, and he would come jump on my dad's truck, then jump on from the truck to the roof, and then from the roof into my window. I would lock my door, and we would Netflix all night, and then he would leave before I got up for work, like nothing ever happened. This was like an ongoing thing through like many of my teenage years, and I would say like I didn't think it was that big of a deal back then. As I grow up, everybody's like shocked. So then maybe that's one of my wildest childhood memories, is doing that on an ongoing basis and like thinking it's normal.
Kelsey, one of your members? You got me at that. I like cannot think of anything. But I will say this was pretty cool. When we were little and in North Carolina, like our backyard had like a forest and filled at night in the summer with lightning bugs, and we would take the bugs and smear their butt guts, which is where their light was, on our arm and write things and draw things on our arm. And to us at that time, that wasn't gross at all. And it would like be a glowy like design on our arm. And now I'm just like, ew. But
That was
things
special.
like that, yeah, special.
Memories.
But for me, wild, not too much.
Okay, Kelsey, we lost her. Little technical difficulties, but that's okay. We are going to wrap it up. That was our last question anyways.
Oh, she's back.
It's working.
Kelsey lives on a farm, and so she has a lot of technical difficulties that we don't.
She's back.
But anyway, we need to wrap it up because my McFlurry is on its way. So
Yes. Thanks everyone for listening and joining in on the conversation. We hope it brought you some laughs and some fun and some insight into who we are and a little bit about us. Next episode, I think we're going to dive into dating and marriage and just like romantic relationships.
the best kind.
It's going to be so good because then after that, Kelsey's going to have her baby. And so we're going to
And we are going to come to you live.
from the operating room.
We already spoke to the hospital. They are letting all 4 of us in there with the microphones. We will be bringing an episode live from the hospital.
Let's not overpromise and underdeliver, but that is the vision right now. So we'll see what happens. Okay. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.